Hello, hope you guys are doing well. Welcome to another video, and in this video we're going to be looking at the fundamentals of spacing, specifically from the perspective of a lower ranged ADC. It's a bit of an add-on from the last video, but it's important that we're able to master these concepts. So in this case, we're going to be looking at Varus into Kai'Sa. Both supports are going to be melee here. And so Varus has an auto attack range of 575, whereas Kai'Sa has an attack range of 525. Therefore, there's a 50 unit advantage on the side of Varus, and therefore Kai'Sa is going to start using defensive pockets against any pocket that Varus could take to try to harass her on certain minions that she would want to have. Now, in this case, because both supports are melee, the goal in this lane is to just simply get a push lead in the lane. Therefore, killing off these 3 minions here is going to be the first priority. But we want to do so in a way where we don't take too much damage against Varus. And so, now, if Varus ends up standing somewhere here, he's able to space quite well against us with the extra auto attack range he has. And therefore, you don't want to be standing in pocket B if Varus stands in pocket A. Therefore, you could stand somewhere in pocket C, or you can stand somewhere in pocket D. If you stand in pocket C, you have to be aware that if Varus uses E, it'll accelerate his push. If you stand in pocket D, which is the best pocket to stand in, because Braum can't really affect us considering Nautilus is right next to us. In addition, we'll be in a location where Varus, who would be in area A, can never really attack pocket D because it's too far away. And so, likewise, the most important thing that pocket D allows us to do, just like pocket A doesn't do, and pocket B sort of allows us to do, but it's not the greatest, is work on these frontline minions. And so pocket D allows us to evade any attack from Varus while simultaneously working on these minions. And so we're going to go ahead and take the 3 frontline. We end up getting hit by either. It's okay. Again, we actually end up losing one of the minions in the middle, and this can be fixed, or this can be avoided from just layering the minions. This could also be avoided by just walking closer to the minions to lessen the distance between your auto attack range and the actual target. However, doing it from pocket C or the middle of the wave is not the safest thing to do, considering Varus will just hit us with auto attacks and he'll follow up with E and will take a lot of damage. Pocket D, as I mentioned, right? Like if you walk up and you try to do that with this minion and we identify this as C, it's not great because Varus hits us. But if you do it with pocket D, there's a possibility of still getting it because you're still far away. So we end up working on the 3 minions again. Moving back, Varus gets a bit of a push on the wave. And again, we're standing in that safe pocket. We're standing in the pocket that's completely away from Varus. Varus is in this location. We're going to stand all the way here. We're also going to be able to utilize the brush in order to evade any vision temporarily. Likewise, we want to be working on the minions that are south side. When we're in this location, if we're in pocket D again, we do not want to start hitting the minions that are like all the way up here because that would be unrealistic. We want to be working on the minions that we can hit, which would be these 3 south side minions. We end up getting a Q off. We end up autoing here, and this is really important to do because, one, we're able to trade off some damage. We know the opposing player is on cooldown. We know Varus is a little bit occupied, and we can end up taking aggro and then collecting aggro by, when this happens, essentially the red wave is hitting Kai'Sa and the blue wave is hitting the red wave. Therefore, the wave is actually pushing into the opposing player, which allows pushes to be accelerated, which is beneficial for Kai'Sa. Of course, this may not amount to anything considering Varus can still respond. So you have to be aware. Matchup is very crucial. We get the auto attack off. Level 2 comes out. Now, you see the minion over here that like Kai'Sa cannot punish. Hence, we're still standing in that defensive pocket. We are not going to stand here. If this is like Vayne and I'm playing Caitlyn and I'm here, yeah, she's going to get hit. But in this case, where Varus has higher range than Kai'Sa, Kai'Sa wants to stand on the opposite side. And so, yes, Varus goes in for this minion, but there's nothing Kai'Sa can technically do at this point to hit him. And even if she attempts to do that, she'll just end up taking a bad trade. So moving forward into the lane, wave 3 ends up arriving. And now, when we look at this situation, we're not looking to try to push the wave because there's so many options to die. Enemy team has Nunu mid lane, enemy team has jungle coming down potentially. I'm not sure if he's coming on the first wave or not. Most likely not, considering the way Viego's playing. But because there is no intent on pushing the wave, and much more value to be gained from pulling the wave from the perspective of Kai'Sa, we could be standing in the wave and taking E's. And so essentially what we're doing here is we're trading off our HP for wave state. So it's a resource that you're using in order to get a good wave state in order to eventually all in, as you know they're doing here. Although in your case, for example, if this game is different and the Viego doesn't come down after 3 camps, you can still pull the 3rd wave, try to get the 3rd wave to lock with the 4th, and now the opposing players have to kill the 4th wave, which allow your jungler to eventually come down. And even if your jungler ends up being a little bit slow and comes down on the 4th wave, that's still completely fine because you'll still be aware that, hey, this is a gank opportunity. Of course, moving forward, you would have to start pinging your junglers to come, and so they eventually will listen most of the time, but you have to be aware of controlling your lane first and then calling your jungle down. Usually in solo queue, if a jungler can get a successful gank off, they usually end up building trust, and then they usually start playing around you, and they're a little more agreeable as players if you're a laner. This is just something that I've noticed. Anyways, we end up getting the dive off, and again, that is it for this video. We were just talking about some basic spacing. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I will see you guys for the next one. Take care. Bye.